What about making your sound better?
Hello, everybody. This is Jerry Mateo here with you today on behalf of WA Productions. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you my overall impressions and a review of the brand new InstaScale from WA Production. Now, if you are familiar with any of these products made by this company, you will know that the InstaChord is a huge hit and is one of my personal favorite plugins. When they announced InstaScale, I became very, very excited because it's basically a sibling or a child of InstaChord itself, where InstaChord allows you to create very, very musical and organic sounding chord structures. InstaScale does the same thing, but on a scale level, meaning that you're actually able to play the individual notes inside of the scale in a very, very musical way. And it's actually really easy to understand. The layout looks like it's a little complicated, but that's just because you have full control over everything inside of this. So with that said, let's go over the UI so you know where everything is, and then we'll go over some examples. So the first thing I want to talk about is the menu tab. Now right here, you have the ability to modify, edit, save, and load your presets. You can select the presets right up here, and then we have the ability to either process or pass the MIDI through InstaScale. We can choose what octaves we want InstaScale to be triggered by. And that's it for the top section. Now, really quickly though, I want to show you what I mean by pass and process MIDI. If I play a note, it's just one note. If I process it though, and as you see down here, I'm still hitting the same note. Let's go back home and we'll hit that note again. Bypass it. So you get a pretty quick idea of what this is designed to do. Now, under this, we have the ability to select our scales, and we can control if we want to have a scale switch on and off, and if we want to be able to go up and down scales. This is very important because we can easily select the scales that we're going to be using. And let's say we want to have a minor scale and then switch down to a major. We can easily do this. And this is very important when you have more advanced song structures. You also have the ability to change the root note. So right now we're in the root of G. So if I play this MIDI track real quick, let's say I don't want to be in G sharp. Let's go to A. Pretty easy. We have the exact same controls as the scale switch. We can turn it on and off, and we can have a root down and up section, which will basically allow us to trigger specific black notes inside of our keyboard to trigger the root or scale going up and down. It's very simple. Anything you want to do, you just click on it and you can select the notes. And InstaScale is very intelligent, and it only allows you to select between notes that are not already taken up with certain actions. Under that, we have the home section, and this is pretty much the same thing as the scale and root section, only it affects the home buttons. So with that said, we should actually talk about what the home buttons are. The home buttons basically take you back to the root note. So let's say I hit this H right here. That's A, because my root note is A. If I go up by one step, I'm no longer hitting A. And if I continue to hit this note, it continues to go up. But if I want to go back down to that root, I simply just hit any of these home keys. And a really cool thing is that this home minus and home plus are actually selecting the octaves of that root note. So if I go to home plus and go up, then go home minus, you get the idea. It's basically allowing us to go higher or lower on the keyboard. Now, of course, we have the intervals of how many steps we want to go. So we can go up by 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we can go down all the way to 6 right now in this specific preset. Keep in mind that this is not limited to what you see in this preset, though. You can actually control everything inside of InstaScale. And with that said, just like the root section inside of the scale menu, you actually have the octave section right here, meaning that you can have it going up and down anytime you want. So like I have the H right here. I can change it to have an octave down button, let's say the C5. Hit the H again. And then we can have an octave up. One more time. And one more time down. So it basically allows you to switch between up and down octaves, which is really cool because since we have all these black keys that are open, we can easily just play a performance. And then if we want to go down to a lower octave, we just select it. We can also control by how many octaves we're going to be going down by. So we can go from anything from 1 to -2 or +2. In the center of InstaScale, we have the action controls. And this is actually just telling us what each thing is doing. So we have the action for -6 is the A4, and it's the key of 1, key 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way to 16, because we have 16 keys inside of InstaScale. Now you will notice that these are all basically the keys that are going to be actually playing. And that's because all the black keys are basically going to be used for these controls up here. Now, with that said, this is just the easy way to see what everything's mapped to. So we know that this is the home key. This is the repeat. And this is the higher octave of the home. This is the lower octave. And this is the normal home. Pretty simple. Now we can easily edit the scales right here just by clicking the Edit Scales menu, and then you can make this any scale you want. That's pretty much it. It's really easy to understand. Now, what I want to do is show you that same example I had earlier. And let's change the scale to something like this diminished, and we'll have this in F sharp, and we'll open up my MIDI menu. As you see here, this is the MIDI I'm actually using. Let's bypass the processing and turn it back on. I know this isn't the most hardcore example, but I thought if I gave you a very simple example, you'd be able to understand how this works. So if this can sound pretty good just doing that, imagine what you can get out of an actual performance. And with actual performances in mind, I want to play you guys a really quick example of a song I wrote using just InstaScale and InstaChord to trigger all of the MIDI. Everything from the piano, bass, and guitar are all actually just MIDI notes that have been tweaked using InstaScale and InstaChord together. And because I'm not really an electronic music guy, I wrote kind of like a really simple pop ballad kind of thing. So let's take a quick listen to it. So that sounds pretty okay, right? One thing that you need to keep in mind is that every single thing you heard is MIDI. All I did was print out the track so it doesn't use CPU, but everything from the acoustic guitar to the drums to the bass, the piano, it's all MIDI being processed using InstaScale and InstaChord together. So with that said, that's going to be it for this video. My overall impressions are this thing's really cool. I really, really like this thing. I'm totally going to start using this all over the place because this is extremely powerful. If I can create something like this in a matter of 30 minutes, then I can probably do a lot if I really take my time. This is Jerry Mateo, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.